The movie I'm going to be giving an in-depth analysis on today is going to be the second installment of Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, The Dark Knight. This movie takes place in a fictional city called Gotham, in which billionaire CEO of Wayne Enterprise, Bruce Wayne, fights crime against the most gruesome criminals you can imagine. Bruce hides his identity behind the mask of Batman. Nobody knows the Cape Crusader's identity beside Bruce's closest friends and butler Alfred. In this film, Batman is attempting to dismantle the underground crime organizations that wreak havoc on the city of Gotham. However, when the criminal mastermind supervillain known as the Joker gets thrown into the mix, Batman must face his toughest opponent yet in order to return order to Gotham. This is when Batman must decide whether he wants to cross the thin line of remaining a hero or becoming a vigilante in order to put an end to all of the anarchy. In my opinion, this movie is as close as it gets to perfection due to the outstanding cinematography, screenplay, and performances, particularly Heath Ledger's Oscar award-winning portrayal of the Joker. This scene begins with a shot of the Joker walking into a sketchy meeting being held in the back of a kitchen. The camera being behind the Joker makes it seem as if he's walking in with all the power. He's immediately greeted with hostility and jokes about his attire, showing that these criminals do not respect him. The Joker then tells him to watch this magic trick and then brutally kills the bodyguard that is attempting to kick him out. Following the trick, the camera moves to a close-up of one of the criminals, indicating a sense of somewhat respect. However, the man on the right of the Joker was not as pressed with his antics as the camera springs up with him out of his chair. The other men are intrigued and want to hear about what he has to say, indicating that he's grabbed their attention. As the Joker begins suggesting his propositions, the criminals explain the fault of their ways. The camera cuts to a close-up, indicating that the scene has shifted to a more serious matter and makes you feel as if he's talking directly to the audience. The lighting is dark and ominous as the Joker's speaks, which gives the audience a creepy feeling. Someone chimes in and calls him crazy, which seems to rattle the Joker. He explains why they are not working and that the camera is cutting the criminals, showing that they are not pleased with what he has to say. He explains that their system is flawed for one reason: because of the Batman. Once the Joker mentions the Batman, you can tell this struck fear into the criminals' eyes, and the camera slowly zooms into the men as they reacted to the name. The camera shows how the Joker is focusing on each individual and scares the men, telling them that the Batman is going to do to them, prompting what appears to be the boss of the screen to be spooked and making him ultimately leave the meeting. This shows the Joker's true power that is in his hands currently. The Joker then tells them that he's going to kill the Batman, which cuts to a wide shot of the men laughing, showing that they think he is foolish. Then it cuts back to a close shot of the Joker, indicating he's not joking one bit. The camera goes person to person with a close shot that he has everyone's full attention at this point. He's called crazy by a man once again, which seems to hit a nerve, indicating the character's instability. The scene reaches the most serious point as the Joker goes into depth on his plan, continuing to threaten the men. This causes the men to grow anger, as they are almost done with his foolishness, and this man had enough as he decides he's going to do something about it. The camera quickly cuts to the Joker with explosives rigged to his person. He shows that, despite being so erratic, he had a plan all along to make sure he was in power throughout the whole scene. He tells them that when they want to get serious to talk, he gives them a card, showing that he is somewhat mysterious because the card has no information. At this point, he has all of the power and has the men answering to him. He goes slowly away from the camera and walks out of the meeting untouched. This goes to show that this is a critical point in the movie as he established himself as a true mastermind. This scene begins in a dark interrogation room where a police officer is questioning the Joker in an attempt to scare him. The darkness behind him indicates how alone he is in society. Frustrated by these games, the police officer leaves, and it appears that the Joker has won this altercation. As the officer leaves, the Joker is all alone in the cell, once again showing how he portrays himself in the eyes of society. Hiding in the darkness, the Batman is revealed, slamming his head. The Joker makes jokes about this as he does not know how to take a scene seriously. The camera shows Batman above the Joker, showing that he's in power in the scene. The camera cuts to a dark room of police officers observing, showing that they are nervous as they don't know what Batman is capable of. Now they're on the same level, indicating that they're equals right now. The Joker begins psychological games to make Batman feel as if he is in the wrong. Joker goes into an explanation that he doesn't want to kill Batman because he completes him, and that he is the drive of him causing terrors on the city of Gotham, and that it's a game. Batman disagrees, calling him scum, and the close shot bounces back and forth from the two, which contradicts what Batman's saying, once again showing them that they're on the same level. The word freak is brought up as the Joker says they are both freaks in the eyes of Gotham, in an attempt to get under his skin. Joker's not amused by his words, but Joker, however, is, showing how psychologically broken he is. Joker explains that the people of Gotham aren't worth saving and that Batman is wasting his time. This is important in the film because the Joker is attempting to make the Batman rationalize what he thinks, and the Joker truly believes that he is not in the wrong as he brings anarchy on Gotham. The Joker tells him that he isn't a bad person, just smart, which causes him not to get caught, and he doesn't deserve to get caught if everyone's so stupid. Batman does not like this, and he loses control and goes against his morals and begins torturing him for information. The camera cuts back to the officers as they feel Batman is breaking. The camera once again showing Batman is in power. However, the Joker explains one of his plans that will cause Batman to cross the line of his morals and kill to be the hero. Anger boiling causes Batman to flip him onto the table, lock the door, and officers attempt to stop him, but Batman is too far gone and has completely broken. Once again, the camera shows as if Batman is in all the power as he beats on Joker, but Joker continues his mental torment, showing that he might not be physically winning this altercation, but mentally he is in power. As the Joker lies on the ground, he knows that he won, as he knows that the Batman will do anything to save his girlfriend. This scene starts with a quiet shot in Gotham City at night with no sirens going on, of which you would normally hear, and it seems as if there's peace in the air. The camera cuts behind Harvey Dent and his girlfriend Rachel walking into a party, making it seem like they're the focal point. Rachel jokes about Harvey not fitting in and it's too fancy, followed by her leaving him briefly, creating uncomfort for Harvey. Harvey is out of his element. Bruce Wayne's butler, Alfred, approaches Harvey, offering him a drink, relaxing the tension. The camera cuts back and forth during their dialogue, and Rachel and Bruce grew up best friends, so Harvey asked him jokingly if Rachel had any crazy boyfriends. Alfred responds, "You have no idea." And to Harvey's surprise, little does he know, that crazy ex-boyfriend is Bruce, aka Batman. All of a sudden, a loud helicopter comes into the scene and lands on the penthouse helipad. A wide shot of all the guests are shown and how intrigued they are. Stepping out of the helicopter with two models in Playboy fashion is Bruce Wayne, the host of the party. The camera cuts to his childhood friend, showing how annoyed she is that he is trying to be the focal point and attention that he's always done before. Bruce walks in with all eyes on him, looking at Harvey, who the party was thrown for. Once he finds him, he asks Harvey's girlfriend / his ex-girlfriend to come over with all eyes on them. He mentions the two relationships and pokes fun at their relationship, showing some possible jealousy from Bruce. Once again, a close shot of Rachel occurs, showing how annoyed she is. After making his jokes, Bruce changes his tone and starts talking highly of in a serious matter. The camera gets close to him so that you know what he's saying is important. Bruce goes into detail that since Harvey is such a good district attorney, that he can bring brightness into Gotham and bring down the criminal organizations. This is his way of showing that he's ready to hang up the cape and live a normal life. If Harvey's able to come and be that bright light and guide Gotham out of darkness. The camera does a close shot of Dent listening closely, showing his appreciation for words. The next shot shows Bruce outside on a dark, peaceful night, seeming displeased. Rachel then joins him, which you can assume a serious conversation is going to occur. A close shot of the two talking begins. Rachel explains that she can tell he was antagonizing him because she grew up with him and he looked like that his whole life. Bruce then recalls when Rachel told him that when he hangs up the cape that they can be together one day again. He explains that this day is coming soon and she's going to be taking over, and Dent is going to be taking over very soon. This is important because this is a shift that never has been seen by the audience and that Bruce is ready to hang up the cape. That is when Harvey comes out and asks if he can borrow Rachel from him, once again showing that when it comes to Rachel, Dent is in Bruce's way.